Okay, let's make sure we're sounding cool. And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports. Thank you for joining us for this preview show. Haye, or Tony Bellew versus David Haye, the rematch. The fight that a lot of us didn't think we'd be seeing. The fight we expected David Haye to go out there and knock Tony Bellew out within 2 rounds. And we all went home happy, laughing, smiling. And for some of us, never seen Tony Bellew again, in the heavyweight division after David Haye embarrassed him. That didn't happen. So now we're here again. Bellew versus Haye 2. Let's get into it. Side note. Good evening to everybody in the room. Side note. The undefeated, undisputed king of the cruiserweight division, Rio Ferdinand, has retired from boxing. It's a sad thing. Rio has retired from boxing because, as you all know, we were all looking forward to seeing Rio get in there against the best in the world and put his unbeaten record on the line. We knew he had a great training, Richie Woodhall, and he was training like an animal. And unfortunately, the British Boxing Board of Control said, no, mate, you cannot have a boxing license. I know people were suggesting for a while. There's somebody I was talking to, and I don't know who it was I was talking to, who said to me, Ingram, you do know that Rio Ferdinand is never going to get in a boxing ring. I'm like, no, you'll get in a boxing ring. And the person said, no, you'll never get in a boxing ring. I'm telling you, it's a stunt. I'm like, no, of course Ferdinand's going to box. He's doing all that training. Of course he's going to box. I mean, Flintoff got in the ring. Now I hear he's retired. But, I mean, what is the process to get a British Boxing Board of Control license? What is the process? Ferdinand, his team set up. They did that. Was it Betfred or contender to champion? Well, he wasn't even a contender. He didn't even get in the ring and fight. So how did that promotion work out? And wasn't it the aim was them to get an area title? Did they not discuss this with the British Board of Control, Boxing Board of Control? I mean, from the video clips I was watching, it was like Ferdinand was being taught how to box, like boxercise classes. And I don't know. I don't know how true this is. I've heard stories that you actually have to spar in front of the British Boxing Board of Control or something like that to prove that you actually know your way around the ring if you've had no kind of amateur experience. I don't know how true that is. I don't know because I don't work for the British Boxing Board of Control. I've never had to apply for a license. And I guess, I don't know. I got close to that position, but I never got into that position. So I don't know what the situation is. I don't know if Ferdinand did a sparring session and got so badly beaten up by an amateur. I don't know. But something obviously happened for him not to get the license. And to say also that his technique looked shocking and he hadn't even been hit on the chin by anybody. So, it was always worrying that, Woodhall was going to be training Ferdinand because you always think to yourself, well, he doesn't look good on the pads. He just doesn't look great. He looks like a guy who should have a couple of amateur bouts or get some amateur bouts, get some amateur experience. But people took in his age and what he did in football. Look, Ferdinand have retired from football because of injuries. And boxing is a far more demanding sport. How the hell was Rio Ferdinand going to get his body up, ready to fight in the division with the biggest punches in, outside the heavyweight division, the cruiserweight division? It was crazy. But thank goodness Rio Ferdinand is not boxing. I won't move any further here. What people got to say about this first. Rio retires undefeated Eugene, I'll laugh. I'll die laughing if Bellew does it against us, Eugene. I was just looking forward to getting hit on the. I was just looking forward to him getting hit on the chin. Same me, Michael says. The British Boxing Board have made the right call. This was miscalculated and dangerous. Rio should stick to boxing fitness. And if you really want to fight, do white collar. Totally agree with you there, Mikey. I thought it was just too much of a risk. And a high-profile name that never boxed before and really looked like a, you know, they were amateurs. Like, they were not white-collar amateur boxers who were having their first bout. They had better techniques than Rio Ferdinand. I'm not knocking anybody who gets in the ring and boxes. I'm just saying. And this was a guy who was going to turn pro, right? So it is what it is. So I don't know what Rio Ferdinand does from here because he had high aspirations to box. I don't know what happened. I don't know if something happened in sparring. I don't know if Woodhall said, you know what, mate, I don't think you're up for it. And Rio said, you know what, put me in the ring with someone, at least try. Because I can imagine him saying, look, if I'm not going to, at least let me try. And of course, maybe something happened. I don't know. But he must have gone along them lines. For him to have been such a determined sports person in his career and then to do all that supposed training and then unless he wasn't really training for boxing and he was just keeping himself in shape, I don't know. I really don't know. But as Tony Bellew would say, I'm surprised Bellew hasn't said something about it yet. I don't want people making a mockery of the sport. So I think that situation there. But you know what? If there was going to be a fight, what they should have is my man, Damon Feldman in America. And Damon, if you listen to this, I hope you're well. He was the guy that did celebrity boxing. So there were times where he got, there was a real bad grudge match between Todd Bridges, who was from Different Strokes, and I think it was Vanilla Ice. And they really didn't like one another. So you got these two celebrity fights. And it was a really big thing in America. Celebrity fighters, celebrities fighting against the celebrities just boxing against one another. And Damon Feldman, who's been on our channel before, I'm going to get him back on the channel again. He was the guy that set that up. And it was a huge thing, the 90s, 80s, 90s, huge thing in America where celebrities would box. There was one between Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton that were trying to make up. Never happened. You remember there was one also, another bout was going to happen where, I don't know who it was. Was it Bow Wow? Was it 50 Cent? Or somebody was going to get in the ring and box. There was a big thing about it. And then I heard something about, what's his name? Justin Bieber. I'm going off topic. But the fact of the matter is, if you want to do celebrity boxing, then do a celebrity boxing bout. Freddie Flintoff versus Rio Ferdinand, one off. Boxing versus cricket. No, football versus cricket. You know, Flintoff's had a fight, hasn't he? And Ferdinand hadn't had a fight. Those two could fight. It was a celebrity boxing match. They could do that. And they could do it with 18-ounce gloves. So nobody gets really hurt. Punch your head cards on and do it for charity. There you go. And then make them charity champions. And you know what? Celebrity champions. And you know what? That wouldn't be such a bad concept because I think people would turn up to see these celebrities fight. It would get boxing fans closer to certain celebrities they would never have got to anyway. So I think it would work. It would work, I think. I think it would really work. So yeah, boxing for the stars, that would work. The British boxing was if it wasn't a celebrity, then Richie wouldn't have bothered. I said this before. Glad the whole operation has been found out and Richie has embarrassed himself and his reputation. Why not do boxing for the stars? Jake Wood, the actor, did that. So did a Heavy D. He should have joined them. There you go. Something like that he could do. But nonetheless, Ferdinand's retired. And for most of us, for a huge majority of us, thank you very much. At this point, we're going to take a very quick commercial break. This evening is sponsored by Tesco's Fiery Ginger Beer. I'm just practicing for actual proper advertisement and selling products. Fiery ginger beer from Tesco's, not the same as the proper Jamaican ginger beer that you can get in the cans, and definitely not as good as my grandma's homemade ginger beer, but Don't worry, I'm not giving this to anybody, and I don't serve people out of drinks that I actually drink myself. So don't worry, if you ever come to my house, you'll be opening a clean new bottle that I haven't drank in. So don't worry about it. Don't have concerns about it. Right, anyway, moving on. Lots of news to tell you before we go into Haye versus Bellew 2. Great news. First of all, this camera that I'm using at the moment is on its way out. I used to have a C920 micro, the Logitech. I've just set off for the 933. I was going to get the 4K one, and I might still get the 4K one after this one. So we'll be in Ultra HD. The next one after I get this webcam coming, the next webcam after the camera I'm going to get now. So we'll get that. So better camera. Beer is better. I don't drink beer, unfortunately. So it's a shame. Yeah, it's Chris Brown versus Soulja Boy. What happened to that? Never happened. Chris Brown probably decked his wife in sparring, probably. Good evening, Rob Plant. Hope you well. So I'm just waffling a bit. But yeah, just did my little thing for the ginger beer. Yep. So news is, for those who are very quickly, got just weave this in. For those people who are on the gaming channel, great news for you as well. Slip it in that BWTM now have got video, image. So we've got the PlayStation 4 camera, plus we've got the headphones as well. So video and headset for PS4. So I think you're going to love that as well. Now, moving on swiftly again. As for the microphone, in the past we've done some videos and the microphone's not great. Don't worry, we got one of those. We got a Rode microphone now to go with the camera, and it's got a nice cat thing at the end of it. So like it looks like a cat's sort of tail that goes over it. So did that as well. So that's fantastic. So we got the camera, we got the microphone, and for those of you who missed it yesterday, we did 2 videos over on the other channel, our main channel. We talked about, and I think Chris Mason saw it. We did a live show where we basically had a behind the scenes setting up the studio. So that was fun as well, setting up the studio. And then we did another video, some of the team players and the people that make it happen at BWTM and the plans moving forward and where BWTM fits, and a bit more about the background, the history of it, and confirming that I'm not just the only person at BWTM. So all those things are there, plus like all sort of crazy things happening. Right, now let's get on to this Tony Bellew versus David Haye. I'm delaying a bit because people are coming into the room still. If I lost momentum a bit after December cancellation, yeah, that's true. I've got to say that. Yeah, and also, yeah, crazy busy now. 2 major contracts have come through. So yeah, for the channel and for sports. So a lot of things are going on at the moment. So I'm going to need to get some people on board and have to recruit some people. So I'm telling you all this so you kind of know what's going on and the crazy things that are going on. Now, I've got some nice people in the room now. Good evening to you all. Bellew versus Haye 2. Do you know when I look at Bellew versus Haye 2? Bellew versus Haye 2 reminds me of Froch versus Groves 2. The only thing is, you know, it's controversy in the first fight. The thing is, the one thing I will give David Haye credit for, or I will kind of give him the room for doubt or improvement, is that he overlooked Bellew. He actually thought he'd go out there and smash Bellew in a couple of rounds. And we all believed he'd smash Bellew in a couple of rounds. We all believe Dave just got to get in some shape, walk across the ring, hit Bellew in the chin. Adonis Stevens had stopped him, walk across the ring, bang him over, and that'll be it. And we'll move on. So I think David Haye vastly overlooked Tony Bellew. That's the first thing. Second, the McGuigan effect. I don't know how hard David trains the fight. I don't know if McGuigan was too much of a friend in the fight for the fight for him. I don't know what their relationship was like. It was all very bizarre, the first fight. You know, him being on the beach and doing this and doing that. And there was all that stuff going on, plus his private life. I think had some issues with private life. He was breaking up from his missus. He looked a complete state, David. His hair was all over the place. He looked a state until fight night. And since then, it seems seems to have some peace somewhere. You see a lot of picture of him with his son. So he seemed to have got that side of his life kind of together. So let's say he did overlook Bellew. Let's say he was arrogant about Bellew. Let's say that he didn't train properly for Bellew, and he just went out there and he was fired up about Bellew, and he overlooked Bellew, and he went out there like a madman trying to take Bellew's head off. Now, to be honest, I've never seen David Haye box as terrible as he boxed that night. Bearing in mind also that before the fight, hours before the fight, wasn't he on a plane going to a doctor with the Achilles injury, or something was wrong? We knew David was injured in some way, shape, or form. There were rumors about it circulating that David was injured, and then we saw him the way he was boxing. He had no rhythm about him. He seemed disorganized, and of course, Bellew took advantage of all those things. Of course, Bellew boxed well that night, but I don't know. I don't know. I just think for me, you know, Dave Colwell had a game plan with Bellew. Now, the question is, did Team Bellew know that David Haye was injured coming into it? Were they whispers in the camp? Did they know that David had one leg? I don't know how much they knew. Was the Achilles injury a freak injury, or was the Achilles in a position where it was close to snapping anyway? I really don't know. And if that was also the case, the leverage, we knew David wasn't getting leverage with proper footing. So, you know, for him to able to generate the sort of power that we expect of David, that wasn't happening. He did catch Bellew with good shots, but Bellew seemed to bounce off of Bellew. So Colwell seems to know how David boxes. Now, in terms of the story of David being a better fighter, the Ruben Tavares thing. If Ruben Tavares is so great, why didn't Ruben Tavares be in the camp with David for the fight against Bellew in the first time round? That's why I don't understand. Why wasn't Ruben Tavares in the camp the first time round? Did David say to him, don't need you, I'm going to blow away Bellew? Did McGuigan say, I don't need him in the camp, I do all the fitness conditioning and training here? Was it that? Why wasn't Ruben Tavares in the first camp if Ruben Tavares is so great? Obviously, he wasn't that great because David didn't want him in camp. And, you know, if he's that great, I wouldn't be going to camp an experienced fighter without the guy that's maybe do so well. So, the question as to why Ruben Tavares wasn't in camp. Again, I don't watch every interview of David Hayes. I don't. I'm just speaking off the top of my head on this situation. So, we all know David thought it was a cert. He definitely believed it was a certainty. He like, I'm going to bang this. It's like, I'm going to bang him up. Look, the kind of certainty it was, you know what? He's like, got a girl. I'm giving an example. He's got a girl in the dressing room, like a couple of girls in the dressing room. It's just, he's had sex with him. He says, hold on, I'll be back. Pulls his trousers, I'll be back. I'll handle business in a couple of rounds. And he goes out there and it's a war. Now, I remember something Jim Watt said. Jim Watt, reckless boxing. Jim Watt. I remember something Jim Watt, the great Jim Watt said. Jim Watt said, you can't prepare for battle when you're in the midst of a storm. And that's key. That's key. You can't mentally turn on when you're getting punched back by a guy you didn't expect to get punched back. When you're getting attacked by a guy you didn't expect to attack you. When you're getting, you expect a guy to attack you, but you don't expect him to have a jab on you. You don't expect him to make you miss or make you pay. You don't expect him to give you a hard night's work. So you haven't got that edge. And every boxer needs that edge. They need to have that fear factor. And you look at Hayes' style. It's all around speed and reflexes. Not great boxing ability. Speed and reflexes. Cat-like reflexes. Make you miss, power, make you pay. That's Haye. Now, that being said, David Hayes, what, 37 now? There's no way he's going to have the same speed he had when he was 31, 32, and he was knocking guys over like John Rears with one shot and all that stuff. So that's another thing that needs to be we need to consider as well. The other thing, I asked David Haye fans this question. And I'll ask David this question. David, where would you say you peaked in your career? Or where would you say was your best performance? You start searching. Was it the Mormick fight? Maybe. Was it the Macronelli fight? Okay. So it was the Macronelli fight. All the fight he had against Mormick. How many years ago was that? So at what point, or was it the Chisora fight? Was that David Haye's last great fight? The Chisora fight. If we look at the Chisora fight, for example, let's say Chisora fight was David Haye, the best that David Haye could possibly be. And he'd done something that Vitaly Klitschko had never done, which is knock Chisora down and knock him out. If we look at that point in time, I remember it was my birthday, July the 15th. The next day, I got on a plane. I was flying out of the country. The London Olympics was beginning, and I spent 2 years in the Caribbean. I remember it all so well. I remember David Haye boxing in a pair of trainers that night. I remember interviewing both days. I remember interviewing Chisora leading up to the fight. That was the first fight. I'd worked with Fight Hype. It was my first experience in any sort of boxing, doing any sort of boxing. So if you think about that, and he was blowing out of his ass after 5 rounds. I remember Adam Booth saying something along the lines of when he fought Klitschko, I think David needs to retire. I don't think he's got it anymore. Remember when Adam Booth said that? Remember when Adam Booth said that? Wasn't that just after the Klitschko fight? And then Adam Booth, did Adam Booth have one? Didn't he have a fight against Chisora? And then there was a split. So I don't know. I don't think anyone's ever chased Adam Booth back up about that comment. He said it on Sky. So if that's the case, that was the peak David Haye, then I can't quite understand how David Haye's going to be a better fighter come Saturday night. I can see where the improvements can be made, i.e. taking Bellew seriously, training for a better for a fighter now, preparing for war this time, as opposed to just preparing to go out there and blow a guy over. I understand those things. So now you are physically, mentally, and emotionally prepared to fight Tony Bellew. And this time, you're not getting involved in all the antics. So all those things, check, 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 check. Fantastic. And this time it's Bellew that's pushing Haye. It's Bellew that's doing all the talking and blah, 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 blah. Bellew's a superstar for it all. So from that point of view, perspective, well, in his mindset, from that perspective, Bellew's believing, I'm the guy that wasn't expected to beat you. I'm the guy who's going to get totally smashed. I didn't get smashed. I wasn't the worst world champ. I was the worst world champion according to you, David. Blah, 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 blah. I've proved my point. As for David Haye, he's looking at this guy going, Tony Bellew. In his mind, he's thinking, Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew. And he goes down his CV and he goes, Tony Bellew. And this is still going in David's mind all now. Tony Bellew. Klitschko, Chisora, Mormick, Macronelli, John Ruiz, Valiev, Bellew. That don't sit well with David. So, plus I think there is some sort of needle between the two guys. So I expect to see David Haye in a much better place this time round. But I don't think David can get around certain DNA traits, i.e. when he gets hit on the chin, I believe he's going to go back to type. I really do. I believe I think he'll go back to type. Now, if he goes back to type, is the best of what David Haye can be in 2018 enough to beat Tony Bellew? Now, here's why I think this could have been a great Haye move, or it could have been a desperate move. When David Haye pulled out and said he had the injury with Bellew, all right, had the injury for the first Bellew rematch, I think him and Salas sat down and said, you know what? We need more time to prepare for this fight. We need more time to prepare this fight. We're not ready. And I need at least 4 or 5 months of you to make the technical adjustments necessary because you're in a poor place. And I need to make those technical adjustments with you. I need more time to work for you. So he's had 7 months to work with Salas. Now, if you had 7 months to work with Salas, I believe in my mind that there will be some changes to David Haye. So like I said before, forget the first fight. This is a totally different fight. It's a new fight. It's a new fight. Because the same David Haye's not coming to the ring. The same Tony Bellew's not coming into the ring. Now, from the Bellew perspective, he has beaten David Haye. Now, psychologically, for me, the question I'm going to ask Tony Bellew is, did you beat the best version of me possible in 2018? Instead of this crap that David's saying about it's the best possible version of me ever and 3.0. No, the best I can get out of my body and out of my mind and out of my soul in 2018. Not the guy who fought Mormek or the fight guy who fought Ruiz. And stop trying to fool the fans that you're going to come back and be like you have some sort of power over old father time. Instead of telling the fans that, say to Bellew, look, I might not be the guy that was then, but even if I'm not that guy, I have enough in my tank still to give your ass a good kicking. That would be a bit more realistic. But David's still coming out with this, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life and stuff. I mean, that to me is a lot of garbage. Now, for Tony Bellew, which version of David Haye did he beat? He beat an injured David Haye. He beat a David Haye that was not taking him seriously. Took for arrogant David Haye, and he fought a David Haye that was caught by surprise and wasn't prepared to fight. And then he fought with David Haye, who was injured and for 4 or 5 rounds. And most of the things people say is he had one leg, which he did. And he got knocked through the ropes, exhaustion possibly. But yes, Bellew caught David Haye with shots, but he didn't hurt David like how Mormek hurt David, where his legs went from under him. He's like, when he fought Mormek, it's like when he got hit with a punch, it's like somebody had actually got the carpet and pulled it from David's legs and he fell down. He fell over. He wasn't hurt like that. And David was more hurt through the injury to his foot than the punches from Tony Bellew in the first fight. So the second fight, I'm not sure mentally how you prepare to have a rematch against the guy you've already beaten. How do you prepare better? If you look at Tony Bellew's rematches, he did better in the second fight against Orville McKenzie, right? McKenzie dropped him twice or 3 times in that fight, and he came back and he beat McKenzie, and he fought cautiously. Now, all this talk Bellew's talking at the moment, I have reservations whether he'll come and take the fight to David Haye. He'll try and fight more cautiously and look to take David into the second half of the fight, because he knows in the second half of the fight, that's where David tires. So I'm not so sure if we're going to get this. He says, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Well, I've never seen, in all the time I've seen Tony Bellew, I've seen Tony Bellew fight once where he looked explosive, and that was against Makabu. Bearing in mind, I heard that night that Makabu, A, was injured, and B, again, I don't know how true it is, and he was almost a stone and a half, almost a stone and a half heavier than Makabu in the night. I think Bellew was weighing around 15 stone a night. Makabu was 13 and a half stone. Don't quote me on that, but I think those were the figures at the time come the fight night. So you had quite a lot of weight advantage on Makabu come fight night. That's not Makabu's fault. That's just what it is. And even in the Makabu fight, he was bowled over in the first round by Makabu. And let's be honest, Makabu's not the same sort of puncher as David Haye. So you can understand why David went out with that arrogance. The other thing about the David Haye fight with Bellew, and Bellew took those shots. It's not the shots that you see that do the damage, it's the shots that you don't see that do the damage. And you've got to say to yourself, was David coming to that fight against Bellew too heavy? He looks lighter, he looks slicker. He looks it. And being lighter means faster. And being faster means it's the shot you don't see that knocks you over. So last time, Bellew was able to absorb the shot. And you may go in there thinking, well, I took David's best shots. You did, against a guy that was gunslinging, and a guy didn't fight his best against you. This time you fight with David Haye that is better prepared for you. So therefore, again, we have an intriguing matchup. Has Bellew improved since the last fight? He believes that he doesn't improve. He's got wiser, but he doesn't improve. Bellew hasn't fought for almost a year now, so he's going to have some ring rust as well. Speed and timing might be a problem for Bellew. The speed and timing might be a problem for Haye. But the difference between Haye and Bellew, when it comes down to boxing fundamentals, Bellew doesn't need speed and reflexes like Haye does. Bellew can work behind a jab. He can got a straight right hand. He can throw a left hook. He can throw an uppercut. And he's not the fastest of cruiserweights or heavy or light heavyweights. He's not one of the fastest guys. He doesn't lie his whole basis. He's well founded as a boxer. And I've always said that, Tony Bellew. I've always thought he was a good all-round boxer. Any videos you've heard about me talk about Tony Bellew, I've always said he's a good all-round boxer. But his accuracy at times can be shocking with that right hand. So, you know, it's going to be very, very, very interesting fight. So these are just thoughts that come through my mind. With all the injuries with David Haye, can he still throw that right hand with the same venom? Surely him being light is going to help. But being lighter, another thing, being lighter, when you've got a heavier guy lean on you, that's a problem. And the other thing is when you're lighter, then when you get hit with the same punches, the weight that's holding you up before, this time you may get hit and you may fall over. So I don't know. There's lots to talk about in this fight. Really, a lot of people are hoping if Haye does what he's meant to have done the first fight, if the David Haye that was meant to show up in the first fight turns up in the second fight, does he knock Tony Bellew out? Most of you think that. But how many of you are saying, well, you know what? David Haye is the wrong side of 37. He's down. He's like that. How much has he got left? Really, of all the injuries, he's a man that's a sniper. He's a speed and reflexes. Really? See, really, I think this is a real toss-up. The guy who is a better boxer is Tony Bellew. The guy who's a better puncher is explosive puncher is David Haye. The guy who will go the 12 rounds and is the fitter between the two is Tony Bellew. But the cooler guy between the two is David Haye. The guy who's got more to offer is David Haye. I don't think Tony Bellew can do any better than he did. That's the best we saw. I think that fight that night was the best of Tony Bellew. You ain't going to get any better of Tony Bellew. That is Tony Bellew. But with David Haye, we can at least give him another 15 or 20%. Why? Because he underestimated Tony Bellew. He didn't take him seriously. And so therefore, the 20% will give David Haye. But is that 20% in 2018? I'm not talking about 2012, but 2011. In 2018, is that enough to beat Tony Bellew? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my breakdown for Bellew versus Haye 2, the rematch. So that's it. That's my breakdown. I can't pick a winner in this one, but David does look in great shape. I think he's won the mind games. The fact that Bellew's pushed Haye, it means David Haye is not intimidated. He doesn't look intimidated. He doesn't seem phased. He looks like a man who's in a great place. And there's nothing worse than you spend all this energy trying to get into a guy's head, and he's looking at you and going, okay, Saturday night, mate. Saturday night. Tony Bellew says this. Tony Bellew says that. All the time. You know what I mean? And we saw how Adonis Stevenson handled business. crack right hand or left hand. We saw what happened. So Davy's got to put in that sort of performance, you know, or really his career will be remembered in 2 fights that Tony Bellew beat you. And that, you know, does he go down as Britain's greatest cruiserweight? If he beats Haye twice, then possibly. I mean, Steve Collins beat Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank. You know, he's still not considered, even though he did that, Collins. People still idolize Ben and Eubank, even though both asses got whooped by Collins. You know, very interesting. Collins was Irish. Well, that's neither here nor there. So was, what's his name? Wayne McCulloch. So was, what's the other guy's name? Dave McCauley and the other guy. What's his name? What's the boy's name? Frampton. Well, that's got nothing to do with it. The other piece of news I heard tonight is that Mikey Garcia has signed a promotional deal, I believe, with Luke. I think it's Lou DiBella, but Mikey Garcia signed a deal. So I think it's DiBella. I could be wrong, but he has signed a deal with another promotion. So now Mikey Garcia. That's what I heard. I'll qualify that for you. I'll check that for you now. I'll check the information for you now. So the other news was, from what I understand, is that Eddie Hearn next week has got some announcement to make. From what I've heard, and I don't know how true this is, it's to do with there's an ESPN app, and this ESPN app is that's going to allow Matchroom to promote a show every month in America. So every month there'll be a show on in America and there'll be a show on in the UK. So back to back. So UK, USA. So that means, with that, also means fighters being signed from Heyman. I see that happen. So I see Heyman, either Heyman fighters have already been signed or about to be signed. It'd be interesting to see if Hearn can sign Keith Thurman, because Thurman's dropped the WBC belt. Would be interesting to see whether Hearn can sign Keith Thurman, Keith one-time Thurman. I know Spence is out of the mix because Spence was, they were sniffing at Spence, and so I understand Spence was offered more money by Heyman, and now Heyman still got Spence. So, should be interesting. So yeah, let's go through and have a read. Yeah, Jamie Cox versus John Ryder. Let me tell you something. I rate John Ryder very highly. I think he beat Rocky Fielding. Jamie Cox. I think John Ryder's the better boxer. Cox may be the bigger puncher. But Cox, for me, he gets hit too often. And the other thing about Cox is he loses his head when he starts getting hit. He likes to get into a brawl. I think Ryder's the better boxer. I'm going to go with John Ryder in this one. I think Cox is a good fighter, but I'm going to go with John Ryder. I don't know how many. John Ryder's been in a few hard fights now, but John Ryder's got what it takes to beat Cox. So it's going to be a good fight. John Ryder for me. Leroy Thomas and Joyce. Well, Leroy Thomas would be in good shape now coming into this fight. I haven't seen enough of Leroy, to be honest. I need to look at him more. Really look at him more. And of course, the First Lady of Boxing is boxing Saturday night. Of course, Golovkin's got his fight, but the First Lady of Boxing fights Saturday night as well. And I can't wait to see her box. So yeah. Cox will beat Ryder. Ryder labors badly and has a blip every now and then. He fell to sharp against Blackwell. Back Cox. Okay, I got Cox too. I think we may see a different Cox. He says he learned from the Groves fight and being too aggressive. Do I like LeBron? Joyce should walk into that ring and pick up the belt versus Leroy. Joyce will just hammer Leroy until Leroy cannot Can't stand up no more. Damn, probably will watch the fight. The undercard is decent, lol. Big sad, what the hell? Big sad, big depression. Great depression, great depression. Okay. How does Haye look physically to you? Haye always looks great physically, doesn't he? But he looks in a good space. Slimmer, trim, 15 stone, 15 half stone. Cox is underdog and better than even odds. No brain on 50-50 fight for me. Okay. Yeah, Cox is a good. I'm not saying Cox ain't a good fighter, but it's just I still think Ryder's a better boxer than Cox. You know, and Cox says that he's improved and he's got it right. But the guy that he fought didn't hit him on the chin, did he? So we'll see how much he's learned when he's pushed. And Cox will push him. Emmanuel Rodriguez, the Puerto Rican, should give Butler a beating for the IBF. Well, that's when they're saying a contract that guys given a contract, and in the contract he says they say you've got to give me a world title fight. Well, you want a world title fight? Here's your world title fight, mate. That's how it works there. Ryder should stop Cox to the body. Okay. Where are you in the Wilder versus AJ saga? I'm in the same place with the AJ Wilder saga as with the Tyson Fury opponent saga. They're both one of the same. I don't know. First of all, I don't trust what any promoter says. Generally, I don't trust what any promoter says. Seem to me lies come out. For me, let's just forget about talking about money, because two guys are going to fight. Let's just see what happens. I want to hear a date. When somebody gives me a date, it's on, then we'll talk about it. Other than that, at the moment, the fight may not happen until 2019. Tyson Fury may not fight anyone decent until 2019. So, and it's still worrying. Another press conference and Tyson Fury's opponent has still not been announced. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm sick and tired, to be honest, with the AJ Wilder talk, and I'm sick and tired of the Tyson Fury talk as well. We ain't going to see how good Tyson is to 2019. Where's Shannon Briggs, by the way? Does anyone know what happened to Shannon Briggs? One piece of news I am happy about, though, is Alexander Povetkin. Looks like he's going to get his world title shot against Anthony Joshua. Povetkin can punch. Povetkin can box. Povetkin's another one on the other side, on the decline. But, Povetkin's a good fighter. If Povetkin can get under Joshua's jab and get on the inside, then Povetkin's got a nice Christmas coming. But I'd rather see Povetkin fight Anthony Joshua than bloody big bully Miller. Please. The trolls are in full force tonight. They might be. But there's a way to deal with them. You just do this. Yeah, it's all right. They didn't pay them in mind. Huey vs. Sex said, anyone excited? No. LOL. Cuddlefest. Yeah. There we go. One there. Nah, don't worry. The trolls ain't in no force. England, get your dough on Bellew stopping Haye. Oh, what happened to Romeo Romeo, boxer? Yeah, he was Romeo Romeo. He was packed it in. Packed it in. That's what happened. I got him, not them. Ingram, I still think it goes to purse bids for Povetkin AJ. Purse bids are 2-3 days away, I believe. Yeah, they are. I'd love to see that fight in Russia, though. Wouldn't you love to see that fight in Russia? I'd love to see that fight in Russia. Yeah, it is a bit of a shame. It is a bit of a shame. So yeah, Haye on points is a good shout. That is a good shout, actually. Haye on points is definitely a good shout. Let me go back up the page because I'm sure there's said lots of things people are saying. Dana White signed Mikey Garcia, giving us more fake news. Get your sources right, dude. Dana White signed Mikey Garcia, giving us more fake news. I didn't say Dana White signed Mikey Garcia. I don't know. I said a promoter signed Mikey Garcia. And you know what? Well, you know what? I've picked up your number now, son. So here we go. There we go. Let's clear this room out now. Let's have a read. Let's have a good boxing evening and clear the room out of people that just want to talk. Do you like Eddie Hearn? Why do you not interview him? I have interviewed him. Moving on. Let's see what else here. Joyce of Dubois. Dubois still is very mechanical. Watch him train. I watched him train the other day. It still seems very mechanical. Jab, right hand, left hook, a bit stiff, and I'd like to see him a bit more. I saw the way they're working him on the pads. It looked very stiff indeed. He's 19 years old, 19 and 20 years old. I mean, he's a powerhouse indeed, but you have to learn to do more than just punch. You're going to have to learn how to box a lot better. So we'll see. Dana White signed Mikey Garcia, not DiBella, mate. There you go. So I said I wasn't sure who the promoter was, but I said there was a promoter that signed. I said I wasn't sure if it's DiBella or not, but it was Dana White. There you go. I didn't say DiBella had signed him. I said I wasn't sure. Please. There you go. Let's see what else. Let's see what we've got in here. Vinny Love, good to see you in the room. He says, if Haye boxes him and doesn't rush, gets up after the first 6 rounds, which will force Tony to fight, and maybe he'll walk onto something. Maybe. I'm generally not watching it because there's no stakes. Okay, that's nice to know, Greg. If Haye won and was going to fight Rio Ferdinand, I'd watch, but the great Rio Ferdinand retired, so. Mikey says Haye is lighter, fitter, and the trainer for him, and his mindset is bang on. This is huge for him, and he'll win easy. Quite possibly. Bellew is annoyingly funny. Okay. Bellew is 1 to 2. Haye is 1 to 2 odds. It's good, despite me saying I'd never fall for this shit again. That's funny. The fight should be shown on Chuckle Vision. Haye should have more leverage and be more relaxed. Maybe he tries to walk Bellew onto something. So much lighter now. Right hand counter. Yep, can see it happening. Vinny Love says if Haye's body holds up, I have to admit he wins. I'd say second half stoppage or clear points win. When I watched Haye the fight under not the influence or alcohol, Haye won 5 of the 6 rounds or 4 at worst. I'm not watching, not even bothered with the GGG fight. Such a pants weekend after all the nonsense. Oh dear. Steve Murray says, fair play, you're breaking it down well. If it's a Haye win, likely KO. Bellew can only win late or on points if he stays intact. Nowhere near pay-per-view worthy. Okay. Greg says, Bellew wins, but the fight is such a farce, it's not even worth watching, let alone paying for. If Haye gets anywhere near his old self, he'll beat Bellew. Okay. Mikey says, Ingram, McCarble was injured going in. Bellew Nelson, who trains his brother, Martin, said this. Yep. So there you go. There it is. Haye should go on strictly with Klitschko. Haye only got beat because his ankle snapped. Yep, a lot of people believe that. How Haye is favourite again by the bookies is just nonsensical. Haye has never been quick on his feet. He just had good position and speed and explosiveness. This version of Davey is terribly flat-footed. He has zero spring in his legs. Plus, he doesn't seem to be able to throw straight. So Bellew can see every punch coming. Well, he may have been able to see every punch coming also because of the fact that David was so heavy. His legacy isn't intact as if you ignore the business side. He's two-weight world champion and one of the best fighters British ever produced. He got beat by Tony Bellew, and that, for him, is not where he wants to bow out on. I disagree there. I think that Haye wants this win for himself and his ego. He needs to put this to bed or else his legacy will be damaged if he can't beat someone as flawed as Bellew. There you go. When he beat Mormick in Paris, I was so happy for him. You're right, Haye had no leverage in his shots. He was just swinging with his arms. Boxing coaches will tell you generates no power. Tavares was in camp because Haye was so confident victory. Hell, he thought he could win going in injured. Nothing to do with Haye. I'm not thinking Tavares any good. Yeah, there you go. Let's go down the page and see what's going on now. Thoughts of BT taking all Warren shows? That's the end of Box Nation for me. Wow. Everybody's scared of Wilder. He's the man. Mikey Hearn said that. Why are you guys hating Ingram for? Appreciate his hard work. Listen, I paid him no mind whatsoever. Dubois is massively overrated. Trust me, this guy's a car crash waiting to happen. You know why Warren is feeding crap. There you go. Hugo have knocked Dubois inspiring. I can believe that. Can Fury take the body shots after that weight loss? Interesting. Lose-lose situation for GG on Saturday night. I agree with that. Thanks. I hadn't heard that. Should do him good experience. I smell a Haye Bellew 3 to settle it. Wow. Expect Haye Joshua to be made if Haye wins. They're going to be pushed for that casuals. Fury's opponent is a pizza delivery guy. Oh dear. I hope DDD knockout isn't a bad omen in the future. I really hope he hasn't got a glass jaw. DJ Slick jumps in and says, has Bellew already lost mentally after that push today at the press conference, similar to Crowd Grows, lost it mentally for Frotch with the push-pull moment? Yes, what I said. It reminds me so much of it. Ingram, just focus on positivity and the people and good people. I do. Yeah, of course. I focus on it all the time. You know, I think about it. They come in the room and they talk. They come on this channel, and their days are numbered. Trust me, their days are numbered. Their days are numbered. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you their days are numbered. But I would like to thank you, trolls down the channel, because you do well for our figures. So thank you. Appreciate it. Another commercial break. Sponsored by Fiery Ginger Beer. And you know me, when I say something, when it comes to things like this, advertising, you know what's coming. Yeah, so I think that's paid for that. BWTM, you're doing a great job, pal. Keep it up. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Let's hope it's a good fight and things are settled once and for all. So do I. I hope so too. I hope so too. So, while we're here and I'm in the room, Who else is boxing on tonight? I think Butler. We talked about Butler. We've talked about Joyce and Leroy Thomas. We've talked about Haye and Bellew. We've talked about Cox and Ryder. We've talked a bit about. I'm going to break that Golovkin fight properly down now. I'm going to re-break that down. The trolls must be kicking themselves when seeing the green screen set up. Only upwards, onwards, and upwards from here. Oh yeah, Slicks? What did you think of the old green screen thing? And while I'm at it, I'll just show you this. Slicks. Commercial break. New commercial break here. Well, this is the Be Excellent. It's headset. So that's the gaming headset we got there. All good. Got it. We had a meeting at BWTM yesterday. Very good meeting. And at the end of the meeting, I was given a headset and a PS4 camera, a Rode microphone. Yeah, not bad. So the meeting went well. The big man was impressed with what he saw. He came and saw the studio. He was happy. Rumours that Ginger Bear has Clen, Varda, chief operating banging on the door in Sussex. What do you think of Selby versus Warrington? Have you watched promotion for Bellew for Warrington? See, I'm talking about Bellew again. Warrington and Selby. I mean, it's like, I like Selby. I do like him. And I think Warrington's overrated and protected. I do, but I could be wrong. Warrington, and I thought Warrington got beat by, what's the guy's name? The guy that Quid knocked out in a round and Frampton went rounds with twice. Can't remember his name again. But the guy that Warrington fought him and he's come back in, Warrington fought like 8 months, something like that. That guy I thought beat him. And Warrington got a hometown decision, in my personal opinion. I just think it's a terrible... Kiko Martinez, that's the guy. Thank you so much. Kiko Martinez. I thought Martinez beat Warrington. I know people may disagree, but I thought Kiko Martinez beat Warrington. I really did. And if Lee Selby cannot beat that type of a guy in Josh Warrington, then Lee Selby, you need to have a seat. But you know, Lee Selby's another one. Lee Selby needs to put on, for me, a devastating performance against Warrington. A knockout. If it ain't a knockout, it ain't good enough. Sorry, he can't go to points against Josh Warrington. He's got to put a statement and say, you know what? I'm one of the best featherweights in the world. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put... You know what? You know what I was watching the other day, to come to think of it? I was watching Prince Nazim Hamid. It was today, I think I watched it. Prince Nazim Hamid against Billy Hardy. You go back and watch that on the tape. And Nash just walked out there and he just took Billy Hardy. And this is a guy who won. I think Billy Hardy had won quite a few championships coming up to that fight. I think he actually won a world title as well, Billy Hardy. And Naz blew him away. Blew him away. That sort of arrogance, that sort of confidence is what Lee Selby's got to have against Warrington. He's got to embarrass him. He's got to show that there's elite levels. I mean, if you're not, and this is no disrespect to Josh Warrington, I'm just talking it from Lee Selby's perspective. And for Josh Warrington, he's just got to put pressure and pressure and pressure on Lee Selby. And you know what I'll tell Josh Warrington? I know Josh Warrington can't punch that much. I'll just keep saying left hook, left hook, left hook, left hook, left hook, left hook. Any comment on Skeet losing on that? But is he? I thought he looked, for me, Bradley Skeet, he looked weight drained to me. I'm not making excuses. I looked at him for the first round, saw him getting snapped up by the jab and getting hit with the right hand. I kept thinking, this guy, Skeet looked, something was wrong about Skeet. He really didn't, he looked weight drained. He really looked weight drained. And then before now, he's getting hit with a body shot and he's down. And one of the signs of being weight drained is punch resistance. So, and the other thing about Skeet, for me, I think he stayed at British level way too long. He should have been moved on to fighting at European and world level. Even if it's fringe world level, he should have been moved on. So way too late in the day for him to now be fighting European a title. He should have been moved on way. Kiko won, you're correct. Can't believe Richie Wardle and Warrington said Warrington beat Martinez. It was quick that stopped Martinez. I was right. Biased. Ooh, who said biased? Why is it biased? It's great to watch the old fights. Nas was from another planet. He was indeed. Martinez got robbed on points. Selby ain't knocking anyone out. LOL. Just a routine 12-round win. I tell you something. Warrington's best chance is Selby getting lazy. Selby don't bang hard though, but fair play. Well, he's got a punch hard for the night. No, I think Selby hits respectably enough, but Selby's moving all the time, so he's not really sitting down and letting his shots go. That's why Selby punches hard enough, I think. But if I'm Warrington, I'm saying, listen, left hook all the time. Every time Selby drops back, throw the left hook, throw the left hook, throw the left hook. Because Selby, you can be guaranteed when Warrington and Selby engage, Selby's going to drop back, throw the left hook. Throw the left hook anytime. Do you know what I say? Even if Warrington can't knock Selby out, knock him down. You know, if it goes to points, you've knocked Selby down 3 or 4 times from the basic thing of catching with the left hook. Selby is a good fighter. He's a good technical fighter. But the biggest thing about Selby, I've said it over and over, and I keep on saying it, he pulls back straight from punches, and he's liable to getting caught with left hooks. His chin is in the air when he pulls back from punches. And I thought they would correct it. They haven't corrected it yet. So, bias when Kiko got robbed. Yeah, it was. It was terrible. Yeltsinov, Eddie new signing in is the truth. I think he clears the division. Let's wait and see. If you remember rightly, there was a guy who a lot of people thought was the truth. And the guy that, see my head, the guy that Terence Crawford fought for to become undisputed champion, please pull his name up. That guy went and fought a Russian guy, and that Russian guy was meant to be the business, and he got knocked out in a round. Tchaikovsky or something like that, and he got knocked out in a round. So let's not be blowing people's trumpets just yet. Let him go through the process of prospect, contender, and let's see how he looks. But, you know, at this level, as somebody said to me, and I heard somebody say it the other day, the first 12 to 14 fights of a fighter's career, they're gimme fights. They're fights you're expected to win. So Joe Joyce is a little different because he's been fast-tracked. Lomachenko's a little different, fast-tracked because of the amateur career. So generally. Easy to forget Selby hurt Gradovich and knocked Steven out. I keep saying that. Nah, man, Warrington will put the brakes on Selby. Really? He might do. Hey, Bellew, talked about it earlier. We're moving on from that. He's just on his toes and always moving, like you say. But Warrington won't see the shots coming. He may get caught late. Yeah, I agree. Julius Indongo, that's it. My man, please no hate. No hate at all. Indongo stopped a guy that a lot of people thought was the business. Unbeaten. I think he's Russian. Or yes, and when he got stopped in a round. So let's just not get too excited about guys that come from Eastern Europe. Javosky, there you go. Crawford and Spence beat. Quite possibly. Have you seen Ryan Garcia kid? Yes, I have seen him. And I've had inside information about him where I'm not going to say who the fighter is that said it, but he has been featured on the channel before. And he also is in the same training camp as Adrian Broner. And Ryan Garcia was sparring. He sparred with Ryan Garcia, and he's seen Ryan Garcia get beat up many times in sparring. At the moment, Ryan Garcia is fighting a lot of gimme fights. And as Abel Sanchez said, he's fought a lot of gimme fights. When he steps up in competition and fights somebody really good, you'll see how good that hand speed and that power is. Rashidi Ellis, I keep talking about him. We'll see how he is. I've been talking about him for ages, so we'll see. What's your views on the gentle giant, Leroy Thomas versus George Royce? Seems a good fight to me. Yeah, it's a good fight. It is a good fight. Julius, good fighter, not quite at the level we thought. No shame in that. He has 2 good wins, but he's been beaten by 2 very good fighters. Beaten by Crawford and the other guy. I don't know. First look, he beats them. Isaac Dogba is the truth. I did tell you he was the truth, didn't I? I told you it was the truth. In fact, those who listened to commentary that night, I actually broke down what Dogba had to do to beat Jesse Magdalena. And as I said it, that's when Magdalena got dropped. Interesting. I haven't seen Ryan Garcia, but I've already known my boy Tank beats him. Ellen Road venue makes Selby fight interesting. And yet, yeah, Selby doesn't sit on shots that I rate him. Tank would murder Ryan Garcia. He probably would do. Tank is legit. Need Dogba on the channel as soon as possible. Yeah, I do. Got a decision to make this weekend because if I do go on the road, then it's a Saturday night. I have to give up commentating on the Golovkin fight because I have to be on the coach. So I don't know. We'll see. But Dogba, yeah, definitely channel. Loma versus Garcia, who wins? No one, Lomo. Linares versus Lomachenko. I like Linares, boy. I like Linares, but a lot of people say Lomachenko will win, but I like Linares. So Dogba is just another world champion that Ingram featured from the beginning. Ingram knows talent when he sees them. Who compared Mahib Fazadin with Prince Azim needs to get his glasses changed? Well, the trainer, I think a guy, a trainer worked. I think he worked some time and knew Naz. Remember I think Fazadin and Naz were from Yemen and stuff, and I don't know. But the one thing that I saw up close with Mahib was some of the moves that Mahib used. You know, the corkscrew uppercut. They're very reminiscent of Naz. Nobody's going to be Naz. Nobody's going to be Naz. But, you know, I wouldn't call it imitation, but he's got a similar fighting style. Nobody's going to be Naz. Naz is just a 1 in a million. Naz is Naz. That's why his name is Naseem Hamid. And that's why, you know, Mahib Fazadin is Mahib Fazadin. But I can understand, you know, the when you look at them up close and a certain way they move their body and the way they throw their punches and the unorthodox way they throw their shots. I don't think you need eyes testing. I think you can see the comparisons there. Nobody is suggesting that Mahib Fazadin is going to blow people away the way Naz did. Nobody's suggesting he's not. We just have to wait and see. Yeah, I like that. Humble Kid Dogba. Glad he won. Lomo versus Garcia. Now, I like Linares. I think Linares is going to be a good fight. I really do. I really do. Look, something else I was going to say, and I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, I'm gonna put this down here. Right, a lot of people in the room here. So at this point in time, this is a message to those people that are listening across the world that are listening in here. If you look down, I've just given an email address there. Now, BWTM are beginning to get themselves in a position now where they will start to look for people to join the team, whether it be people who do videography, content providers, business managers, talk show hosts, researchers. There's a lot of roles that are going to be available. So, but so my email address is there. So if people are interested, this is an opportunity to come on board. Tee straight up now, not interested in anybody who's just looking to get paid. You can get a job anywhere else. Not interested in that. I have a responsibility to find the right people who will be able to take this channel to that next level. So it's about finding people that are going to be able to take the channel to the next level through expertise, through respect, and through loyalty. I don't want to hear anybody talking to me about money. Oh, yeah, but you got to pay people. Yeah, they'll get paid. Don't you worry, they'll get paid well. They'll probably get paid better than some other people are getting paid by the channels. But the bottom line is, you know, it's about getting people who fit the mold. So I know I've had a few people that want to come on board, but a few very, very reputable people that are in the wings waiting. So, you know, and they are very reputable. So we just want to see. It's a great opportunity now for those people who have been on BWTM for years and have been watching and you know and want to take part. I've heard people say you should set up a Patreon account, blah 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 blah. That's coming. That's coming with the state. That's coming with the online station. But yeah, but there's the opportunity. So if you want to be a part of BWTM, if you want to be a part of the team, the email address is info at I am network. So that's IAMNETWORK.org. IamNetwork.org. So it's info at IamNetwork.org. And send across your CV and you know what you think you can offer and why you think you'd be a good fit for BWTM Sports, BWTM generally. All right, so there's lots of work to cover, and also on top of that, looking for a sports business manager as well. So not only a sports business manager, just an area manager. So if anybody's interested in that as well, that's a great opportunity to make some very good money. So get in touch with us about that as well. Would love to hear from you if you're looking for a role in sport and engaging in the community. Get in contact with me. That is some stuff there. So that's an advertisement there. So there's a sports development role. So get in contact with me. Just landed the contract and we need coaches. We're going to need people who can do the job and get paid well. So yeah, it's very important, very important. So yeah, BWTM, great brand, good people. Thank you very much. So it's about that, and it's about taking the channel to the next level. Oh, and while I'm at it, tomorrow night, live and exclusive to BWTM on our news and entertainment channel, we've got Beyonce's former manager, Kenny Moore, returns to BWTM news and entertainment. I'll be talking to him about the latest news on Destiny's Child reunion. We'll be talking to him about the Destiny's Child documentary. We'll be talking to him about Coachella. We'll be talking to him about Kanye West. We'll be talking to him about the vocal coach and why in the recent Beyonce books, his name keeps being mentioned. So fantastic stuff coming to the channel. And to have Beyonce's former manager get back in touch with us again. He was there at the start with Destiny's Child, him and Andretta Tillman. The media don't want you to hear that sort of information. They'll always tell you it's Matthew Knowles. So there. So that's more information for you as well. Tomorrow night, BWTM News. Get across to BWTM News and hit that subscribe button. It's live tomorrow night from 9 p.m. We'll be talking live from Texas, 3 p.m. Texas time, 9 p.m. UK time. We'll be talking to the former manager of Destiny's Child and Beyonce and what's her name? Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams. We'll be talking to Kenny Moore once again. So there you go. Above the like buttons. Anyone got that same problem? Yes. Well, yeah, let's, you know, I should really be letting, well, you know, it's something that I don't know. We haven't, you know, we have people abuse the like and dislike button. So, you know, just leave it where it is now. So it's good. It's good. We see that a lot of people like the channel, which is great. and we appreciate it. But you know, just on the real talk a second while we end, before I come to an end with this. That's what people are saying. Yep, I'm not at the missus. I don't have Skype minds at the minute. So live podcasts are great. Ingram has me jump in my seat when he suddenly starts shouting. Great energy and hype, entertaining. Nice, Ingram. Well, I liked it anyway. LOL. Thanks, Will. Yeah, on the real, couple of questions I want to ask boxing fans. Well, 4 questions I want to ask boxing fans. Question number 1 is, well, not in boxing fans, just people who watch YouTube. I don't understand. If you don't like something, why'd you watch it? Why'd you keep on watching it? And why'd you keep on disliking it? I don't understand it. If somebody can work to understand it, thank you so much, Mikey. I can't understand it. I'd love to know why people do that. Why do people hit a dislike button? I don't understand. It's just, I don't understand it. I don't understand why somebody hit a like. If I just don't like your stuff, I just don't watch it. Simple. I don't know why people hit a dislike. I don't like dislike button. Secondly, I don't understand why it seems boxing fans are more interested in the promoter than the fighters. Why is this the case? I don't understand it. I don't get it. 3, why do boxing fans always moan about fights, moan about controversies, moan about poor decisions, yet do very little about it afterwards? Why don't they boycott pay-per-view? Why don't they boycott fights? And 4, why is it that people say Mayweather is a crap fighter or he's a boring fighter, and people really don't understand, you know, why do people have a problem with Mayweather as a boxer, what he does outside the ring, but yet he's able to make so much money from pay-per-views? I don't understand it. And the final question is, boxing is that hit and not get hit. That is boxing. That's the art of boxing. So why are there so many anti-boxing fans in the sport? Because if you ask people who they like in boxing, they like a lot of guys who are anti-boxing, which basically means people who get hit and use their chin to stop punches, as opposed to a guy like Mayweather or Lomachenko who misses. And then look at Lomachenko. Lomachenko makes a person miss and makes them pay. But nobody calls Lomachenko boring. Floyd does it, but Floyd does it better. But Floyd's boring. I don't understand it. I don't get it. People like Gatti and Ward. That's not boxing. That's anti-boxing. That's 2 guys having a fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like it, but I'm asking the question. That's not boxing, because it's about hit and not get hit. So I don't get it. I don't understand, but I want to know why people think it is. So it's the casuals mentality, number 2, because some people are morons. Casuals trying to sabotage boxing. I think so. But the other thing is the casual market is so powerful. It's actually more powerful than the actual knowledgeable people in boxing who are connoisseurs of the sport. I don't understand it. But the casual market pays, particularly in fights like the Joshua fight. I respect the art and the skill side, but I am guilty of enjoying a scrap. And the KO also, I appreciate both. And here's another thing. The KO. You say you want knockout artists, yeah? Okay. I want a guy who's going to knock a lot of guys out. Well, the guy who's got one of the biggest runs of knockouts in boxing today is Deontay Wilder. Yeah, but he windmills. Do you want knockouts, yes or no? Yes. There's the guy. He's a knockout king. Yeah, but he windmills. I didn't ask if you wanted a boxer. I said, do you want a KO machine? There's a KO machine. Yeah, but I want boxing. Okay. Then you've got Floyd Mayweather. But he's boring. Okay. So what do you want then? You've got defensive genius, and you've got two sides of the spectrum. You've got one side of the spectrum, you've got Mayweather, who is a defensive genius, and then you've got Wilder. Oh no, even let's switch it the other way. You've got Tyson Fury, and you've got Deontay Wilder. Wilder is just pure out there for knockout power, looking to lend you your conscience. And you've got Tyson Fury is a guy who's going to make you miss and make you pay and embarrass you and box your head off. And if you put those 2 guys, and people, boxing fans are not going to like neither of them. But hit and not get hit. Wilder's way of hit and not get hit is knock you out. Don't understand it. I don't get it. It's about being able to hit and move, but still being in a position to hit your opponent and not run away. 1, so many sad haters. 2, promoters got the money and power. 3 or 4, I see a lot of casuals love the KO only and get bored of boxing. Some can brawl and box. Haggler. Okay, I'll rephrase. Systematic beatdowns with a KO. LOL. Just watch Haggler and Hearns. Boxer against wild basketball player will power. Fury beats Wilder. Roy Keane. As long as he doesn't get hit on the chin by Wilder. That's all well and good. That's all well and good against Klitschko, and it works against Klitschko. Does it work against Wilder? That punching power is out of this world. You know, if that right hand lands, tell you, and that's the thing. Ward versus Haye would be great. That's a perfect example of boxer versus KO, lads. Wilder's got that equal. That's it. You can't count Deontay Wilder out now in any fight, because of that punching power. And he did it against Luis Ortiz, who was the baddest man on the planet, according to many. So you know what? He fought the baddest man on the planet, Luis Ortiz. Tyson fought the guy who, you know, was a reigning world champion for 10 years, but he wasn't the baddest man on the planet. Luis Ortiz was considered the baddest man on the planet. You know. Few would see his right hand a mile away, like he did Cunningham, like he did Pychek. Yeah, of course. Like he did Chisora. Yeah, of course he would. And the right hand is see a mile away. Even Klitschko nailed Fury. So I don't buy that at all. I think you're making Tyson out to be something that he's not. Tyson is a fantastic fighter, but don't make him out to be something he's not. Klitschko, Wilder will catch Fury. He will catch him. This is not Klitschko we're talking about here. And Wilder's got, and the thing is, Wilder is a bona fide Olympic bronze medalist. Anywhere in the world, Wilder thought he would have been a bronze medalist. But we talk about the Joshua thing over and over again. A lot of people say if it fight wasn't in London, if it was Olympics were in America, or they were in Tokyo, or they were in Australia, or they were wherever they were, Joshua may not have got out of the first round. And I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just saying a lot of logical things people think. That's all. So I'm not hating here. So, yeah, I think I'm coming to the end of the show now. Always remember at the end of the show, at the end of the videos, check out the corner. In the corner of all the videos, you'll notice there's a circle. That's the subscribe button. I also always leave at the end where it says the latest uploads. Question also, final question of the night. When you finish watching a video like this, do you ever come back and watch it afterwards? 1. And 2, when you watch videos like when we upload interviews and stuff, when you look at the end, do you ever watch the end card? Do you ever watch the end card videos? We would love to know if you watch the end card videos. I'd really be interested to know that. Right. I think that's it. I've done a lot of talking tonight. And I've got a lot of work to get back to go and do. So, thank you all so much. Don't forget, please, begging you, join our 300 plus now Facebook page, BWTM Sports Group. We've got so many people in that room now in terms of boxing promoters, people in sport. Really great chat, really great group. Get in there, BWTM Sports Channel. Even if you can't find BWTM Sports Channel, Sports Group, Facebook, BWTM Sports Channel, and I'll add you into that group. You can join in and get involved in the chat. If you've got fighters that you know or you would like to get a little bit of publicity, get them in. Let me know. We'll talk to them for you. Fury outboxed Klitschko, a world-class boxer. Do you think he can't outbox a basketball player with no skill and technique? Well, I disagree with you there because he won an Olympic medal. So, and his technique is getting better. And he beat a guy in Ortiz, who was technically sound and probably the best boxer in the world at the time. So to have no skill and no technique and beat Luis Ortiz, who was the baddest man on the planet and a pretty good boxer to that point, sorry, that's given what discrediting Wilder a hell of a lot. Thanks for the chat, Shog Ingram. Thanks for the chat. Peace out, guys. Top talk. Thanks, Ingram. Peace out, boys. Right, I'm out. Have a great night. Thank you as always. Appreciate you. This has been BWTM, and we're out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and share the video. Let everyone know about it. I'm out. Take care.